50 plus pickleball double strategies from a senior pro. In this video, I'm going to share with you 2 offensive techniques that you can use as a 50 plus player in order to defeat your opponents and win a lot of points. This is from the 2023 Nationals. This is me playing right here. I'm going to show you how to do this exact shot as well as another technique you can use. That right there, not very nice, but I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's get into it. I'm going to share with you 2 offensive techniques that you can use to place pressure on your opponents and score more points. Let me set up the situation for you so you can follow along. As I mentioned, this was at Nationals in 2023. Nearest over here is a fine gentleman, an amazing player, Johan Svensson, one of the most gracious players on the circuit. Partnered with my good friend, amazing player and fellow coach at Better Pickleball coaching team, Stephanie Lane. Opposite over here is Karina De Vera, a very positive, energetic player, working on her game all the time. And over here in this green and pink abomination is yours truly, your coach for this video, Tony Roig. So when I share these techniques with you, not only am I a full-time professional coach, I'm also a senior professional pickleball player. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this for you at full speed, I should say, regular speed, and then we'll run it at half speed where I'm going to break it down for you. And what we're looking at here is a technique where Stephanie Lane, one of the best in the game at this, is going to basically set up, put some pressure on me and Karina here. It's very difficult to deal with, and I'm going to break it down for you in a second so you can see how much pressure is applied with that one shot, how it puts us in a state of disarray. As we get into the slow motion, the concepts that we're talking about in this video are intended for competitive play primarily. Ladder league, team league, round robin, tournament, of course, any kind of competitive match that you're playing. Use these techniques with discretion when you're playing in rec games. They're very effective, but players oftentimes in rec games look down on lobbing. Again, not saying you should acquiesce to that, but that's what happens. So here you see the lob by Stephanie, and then what you're going to see here is right here is what I wanted to pause, because what she's done with that lob is she's created put us in disarray. So if you look at Karina and I are in a state of disarray here, and Johan and Stephanie have control of the situation. So that's the first rally we're going to look at here. This next rally that we're going to look at here is going to be another non-volley zone lob. So this is the offensive non-volley zone lob, what we're studying here. So we're going to see another situation here where we're going to see another non-volley zone lob develop here. And you're going to see Stephanie set up to hit it here. And then she's going cross court, right? And again, we're in a state of disarray chasing that ball, and I end up clipping it off the top of my paddle. Now, Karina and I are new partners. For the first time we ever played together was in this tournament. And so, we're not really sure on coverage together, because the first time we ever played actually at all was in this tournament. So sometimes coverage can be difficult here. Here you're going to see another lob situation here. This time I'm able to get a hold of it. And what I want to focus on here is the difference between this lob and the next lob. In this lob here, you're going to see that I'm, at the time of the lob, nothing's happened, right? And I'm set. So I'm set, and also this is my forehand side here. So when Stephanie pushes that one up, I'm able to read it quickly because nothing's happened, and I'm able to put it down. And then I'll run this for you in a second so you see a little bit of jawing here because we're friends about not being able to win everything all the time.
Hang on, work, Stephanie, not all of them. You've done plenty.
And now compare that with this one here. So here, I've been stretched out here to my right? So I'm in a stretched position here. We're going back to the middle here. This time when Stephanie lobs it, I'm having to recover. I can't read it as quick, and it's going to be a much more difficult situation for me to cover there. And as you can see here, again, what happens is basically you have 1 versus 2 because of the shot. I'm off the frame here, having to go recover that lob. So no matter what happens, and I think this one we got a little bit lucky on a volley. Karina did a great job of covering, I should mention. She came to the middle. Great job of Karina covering there. She's able to then take this next shot. She puts it back in play, and I think there's just a mechanical mistake happened. But the point is, doesn't matter, right? Because this is what you're looking for with the shot. 2v1, or as I showed you before, 2 versus 2 on one side. Not good situations. The offensive lob allows you to do that. If you're a 50-plus player, why not get tips that are right for you? This is one of the only channels on YouTube that features a player who's walked in your shoes. Click the link down below, subscribe to the channel, and get tips from a senior professional player designed just for you. Let's tie it all together with the offensive lob here and show you the first rally that we started this video with. So you're going to see here, I'm going to be lobbing Stephanie in a minute here. And this is a good use of the offensive lob here. We have basically, we're in a grind here, just grinding, you know, no break in the action. So I decided to lob over Stephanie here. So lobbing over Stephanie here is a good lob because it's Stephanie's backhand side over here. She's not usually going to go back and cover those lobs. At this point, she was waiting for a knee replacement, and that happens when we get older. So Johan's going to have to come all the way across and cover that, which he does, and he's very good at covering. He plays like a 25-year-old. Now we have them in a tough spot, right? We have Stephanie's come off the line a little bit, which is a good move by her. Johan's all the way back here off the screen. Actually, you can kind of see him coming back on there. So now we have control of the situation with one shot. We've created a positive situation for us. And now we're going to basically attack this middle spot here, right? Trying to create some pressure. And if you're a pickleball system member, what you see here is you see an advantage-disadvantage situation where we have taken advantage and we've pushed them back into a disadvantage situation. And that's what we're trying to maintain here. Now, this is kind of a little bit of a mean shot there, but it was basically a read at that point in time by me. You know, I saw that Johan was very far back. You can see he almost made it to it. He's very quick, but I took a chance on finishing the rally there with a short shot. If you're going to use short shots in your game, think about them. If you're bringing the players in more often or missing more often, both of those combined, then you're hitting winners. Think about it before you hit those shots. The next offensive attack I'm going to show you is even more controversial than the first one because this time we're going to do it from the baseline. Baseline lobbing is one of those areas that's like a third rail in pickleball. Using it in competitive play all day long, I have found it to be a very effective technique. I'm going to show you some uses in a minute. But if you're going to use it in rec play, again, be aware of what you're doing. Now, if you're a competitive player, techniques like these all day long, again, like I said, and if you want to really up your competitive play, join us inside the Better Pickleball Academy. I share a ton of really good techniques inside our courses in there that'll help you play better when you play competitively. All right, so let's break this down now. We're going to see a lob here. I'm pushed back off the line. I'm going to throw it up. And I'm going to run this one a couple of times so you can see the breakdown. So you see how basically we've pushed them off the line there with that shot. Now let's do it in slow motion. And so I'm going to show you the technique in a second. So you're going to see me come off the line there. Now I'm pushed back, right? So from there, it's hard to do much of anything, but I throw it up. And so this is interesting here, right? Johan's able to get this ball out of the air, but that's just a very difficult shot, right? I mean, I think you can see it visually there. Very difficult to handle there. Now, I would suggest here, we actually have an attackable shot here. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Karina and I first time playing together. So Karina's not really used to this approach, and it's an approach that's not used that often. But you can see where the ball is here, right over Stephanie's shoulder. So if you were playing with a player who understood what you were going to do and saw it develop, then this player basically comes across, takes this ball, cracks it here, and you've earned yourself a point. So I want you to understand that there's layers to this technique that are available to you the better you understand how to approach it. But even here, right, we have gained the advantage. And again, if you're a system student, you understand the terminology here, but you see the positional advantage here versus Stephanie and Johan back here. So with one shot, we have flipped the script from the serve side and taken the advantage. Here we're going to see another series of lobs where we're going to now go into the middle here. So what you're going to see here is you're going to see a middle lob here, and the middle lob here is backhands, right? Because Stephanie and Johan did not unwind that stack, so their backhands are or his backhand's in the middle, I should say. Her backhand will be in the middle anyway, but he's the offensive player there, so the backhand's in the middle. Again, a very difficult shot for him to handle. Does it create an attack opportunity? I would submit that it does, right? Again, it's a ball that could be attacked. I can't attack it because I'm hitting it. So now we're just, but I do attack it, I guess, but I attack it to his feet. Again, difficult spot here, and I've been able to create that space with the lob. This was a little bit ambitious. I'm going to lob it again here, throw it up in that middle, and Johan does a good job of handling that, and then I believe we missed the next shot here, or we float a little bit, and then Stephanie does a great job of putting it down. But it shows you how you can use lobs to soften up your opponents, and it's an effective technique. Here I'm going to show you how sometimes we can get into like little bit of a lob rut maybe. And lobs don't work all the time, you know, meaning like it's not like every lob you hit is going to be phenomenal. So here Karina shows up. Basically, I think that's a defensive lob in that situation. And then here, I just didn't hit it deep enough, right? So now they're going to start cranking them at us. Now we're playing defensively. These are fine defensive lobs. I think I get a hold of this one here. Now this is a difficult spot here because there's a lot of court to cover. Karina's covering her court. And Stephanie does a great job of poking that down the middle there. But the next rally, I'm going to show you how with one shot, just a lob, we end up with a point against a very good player. Johan comes from a tennis background. He has a great overhead. But just throwing up a lob sometimes, right, it gets their timing off. His shot goes out and we earn a point. So the offensive lob from the baseline can be very successful for you, as well as the MVZ lob. Adding those techniques to your competitive play will give you an edge that'll help you soften up your opponents and sometimes score easy points. Again, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll put a link up here to the Better Pickleball Academy where you can learn a lot more about competitive play. And down here, I'll give you another YouTube video to continue your journey. I'll see you next time.